Hi everyone, so today I wanted to talk about something really important, and that is the overlap of the reed. And so the reed slump I was in, where I closed my business for a while to reevaluate equipment, was actually because my blanks were not turning out quite right. So now this is a good blank I've tied since. All the ones I've tied since have had like nice tight sides, sides of the reed should come together tightly all the way to the end of the tip, all the way off the end. They should be tight. And by the way, a reed that is visibly looks tight may still be loose. I want to make this very clear that looseness is a function of the reed. It's not just a look. I mean, if a reed looks loose, then you're way past the point of no return. You need to like rip that thing up and not even worry about it. Don't even consider it. Not even for a student. But yeah, this needs to, obviously visually needs to be touching all the way to the top of the reed off the end, but looseness is a function, right? So my reeds looked tight, and they even looked correct down here where it should absolutely always look overlapped immediately coming off of the thread. It should always look overlapped immediately. If it looks like it's overlapping like up here after the fact, then that means you've really badly side slipped it, and the reed is just going to want to get more and more and more overlapped, and then you're going to have no vibrating area, and the reed's going to feel very limited and not playable, basically. In many instances, unless the shape is maybe wide enough, and we always have weirdos that make it through. But the thing is, this is very important. But all of them looked aesthetically fine, but they were a little more overlapped at the top than I was wondering. And I wouldn't mind that, if it was just a visual thing and it didn't affect the function of the reed, but it was affecting the function of the reed. This is always the most important thing. So it was making the reeds feel very limited and almost like unplayable. And so I was like, okay, there's no way, and I'm selling this, and there, if I'm not comfortable playing on it. And the blank is very important. I mean, this is a blank, it's not a finished reed. This is like what I do on the first day. And so if the blank is not correct, then the reed is not going to turn out fine at all. The blank must be right, because the 70%, I remember my undergrad teacher telling me that 70% of the reed is done by the time you're at the blank stage, maybe more. I mean, you're just, at this point, you're just unleashing what the reed actually is already, inherently, like with your scraping. And my master's teacher would say it's like being a sculptor. You have a nice piece of marble, whatever you're using, whatever stone, and you're just sculpting. The reed is already there. You're just unleashing the vibrations. So the thing is, with the reason I was getting loose sides now, it's not good to have a shaped piece of cane that's just hanging out and drying. That'll warp things, and then you'll have like a really crazy loose reed. So never leave your reeds shaped when they've been folded. I mean, it's different if you're using the RNS template, those straight shapers, the reeds and stuff template. That's different. There you can leave it shaped, obviously, because you haven't folded it. But something about a folded shaped piece of cane being left out to dry always makes it weird. Anyways, let me go ahead and talk about what mistake I made and how I fixed it and why I want to share this with you. So firstly, we all know, I like ovular staples, not rounded. They, it's very important. Everyone's different, right? But let me show you. So yeah, you want to put the piece of cane, obviously, right parallel with like this, straight on. And then obviously you'll measure how long you tie on, etc. Maybe put a little mark right here so you don't have to think about it when you're tying up, if you're at 47 or tying over or under. I mean, all that's good, right? I was doing all that normally. Nothing seemed wrong. But what I started doing was like, to save time, what if I just side slip a little? What if I just slip the blades like, to force the overlap, kind of forcibly create the overlap and then tie on. And then it was looking right at the bottom, right? Like I said. So I was thinking, oh, okay, so this will be fine. But then the reeds were like feeling terrible and were loose at, feeling. And so, so then I realized that after ruining a few reeds that, what I needed to go back to what my undergrad teacher, Linda Strommen, always taught me about overlap. And that was that you put it on flat, and then you hold both of the blades like this, and you pull both of them completely parallel, not one more than the other, parallel towards you slightly. So it's flat on at first, and then you pull it towards you slightly. You askew it a bit towards you. Then you take your thread, oopsie, a tripod, and then you put one wind on, and then I honestly kind of let go, and I let the motion of the thread set the overlap for me. So I let the motion of the thread set the, so I just move it towards me, and I let the motion of the thread set the overlap, and then then it's always the perfect amount. And it's organic. The way that it comes to, the way the overlap will come together is very organic. And it'll move it back to being more straight on the tube, just slightly to the right. So then when you click it open, it's totally straight on the tube. But this is the thing. This gave me such tighter blanks. I mean, and I was just thinking, even if you have perfect cane, I'm so particular about checking, the straightness of my cane and things like that, making sure the diameter is, good for what gouge you're using, etc. But, the thing is, if you don't tie correctly, tying is a very objective thing. The reed's not going to be good, okay? It's like gonna be loose, or it's gonna be not as good as it could be, unless it's like a magic piece of cane and some weird thing happens that allows it to work. So yeah, holding it like this, moving it towards you, both of them parallel, not slipping one blade more than the other. And then putting one tie on, and then using the motion of the thread itself to move the overlap into place. And if it doesn't happen the first time when you're doing it, that it doesn't get it coming off overlapped immediately after the thread, then just do it over again. Undo it and do it over again until that natural motion of the thread moves it into that correct alignment right here, where it looks overlapped immediately off the thread. But this is the thing. Even if you side slip, it will also look immediately overlapped off the thread. If you're forcibly trying to make an overlap look a certain way, instead of doing the correct technique that will enable you to have something that is truly doing what the reed needs, functionality-wise. And so you can see it's nicely overlapped, but it's just the perfect amount of overlap. And this is how all of them have been since I've made sure of this. And basically I was just going back to what I was always doing. Because literally the batch before, I thought, oh, let me just kind of, to speed up things, force the overlap, force the question. All those were turning out fine before, and then after that, every reed was loose and feeling not right. And so I just encourage you to watch out for that in your tying, and I hope this helps some of you. Thank you again. Maybe I'll post more tips or whatever. Clips of tips. Reed making tips. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day. And if you want to order reeds, obviously you can go to my Etsy. Have a great one.